This conference will now be recorded.
So today we are discussing about this one parameter form uses in module. Already this 35th concept we discussed already in here table of contents. When we are developing a table of contents form, we have discussed this particular parameter form design, parameter form usage, all these things we already discussed. Just check it, okay? Just go back to the table of contents design and just to see this video. You will definitely understand what is the use of parameter form and in which cases we will create a parameter form and all. Already I have discussed in that particular class itself. Now, working with the label file and the label IDs. Coming to this concept.
Sorry, Arjun, regarding another method of SSRS report, you said that today you will go through all those in the video.
Just a second, wait a minute. So query based report, right? Maybe we have faced an issue right in the last meeting. That video I'll send you, that video, because in this particular environment maybe it is not working. I will share you the video. Already I have created a query based report in previous. I will share that video. You just walk through it, and there is a simple difference in between query based and RDP model. In RDP model, we have selected here in data set, we have selected data source type, reported data provider, right? Here we need to select query, and in here we need to select the query. Whatever the query we will create, that query we need to select here. That's it. This is only the difference. The remaining part, everything same. Design part and everything is same. That video I'll share with you. You just watch it, and if you have any doubts, let me know. No problem. Okay, I will tell you again. But here it is not.
Another thing regarding the form. So on the form, let's say in grid control, if we have multiple records, means hundreds of record, and if we want to extract those records, let's say we selected all those records and want to extract those in a report, right? So that how that can be done?
I did not get your requirement.
Export. So export from the grid control records.
Export to where export?
Export to a file.
Which file?
Let's say 10 records are there on in a grid control, means when the form opens and we selected all those 10 records, and after that if we want to export
To Excel or what?
Excel, PDF, or anything like here in SSRS report, it asks
SSRS report already, query based report, you will get it. In query based report, already, once I share the video, you just watch it. The SSRS report. From SSRS report, you can export it to Excel, PDF, Word document, anything. It is possible. Okay. But directly
from the form, in these formats, any one of the format, the CSV file or Excel file, if you want to export the data, how that could be done?
Sanjay, here I'm asking after, okay. Let me open the form, EMP table form.
And one more thing, like export, if we have to import data from Excel or CSV file into uh, Dynamics 365.
I'll tell you. Wait. I'll tell you. Okay. So this is our form. Okay. Here we have a grid control. Now tell me what exactly you want.
Yeah, so if we select all these records, correct?
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
and now I have to export these records in a file,
I'm asking which file.
CSV file or Excel file, a PDF format, any format.
Oh, no, these many formats will not support. If you want to export it to Excel, that is possible directly.
Yeah, let's say Excel.
Excel possible. We need to write a code on button control. Here we need to create a button control. In the button control clicked method, we need to write a Excel operations. We have a sys Excel classes will be there. Sys Excel classes. By using those classes, we need to write some piece of code and we need to give the target. For example, on desktop, you need to create one Excel file. Okay, Excel file. We need to give the target, the URL, okay, in which file you want to send the data that we need to provide. Okay, I'll show you the classes. See here, there is a uh, so we have some certain classes here there. Uh, mm, Excel operations will be there actually. I have used in guys, just a minute. I'll let you know that. Okay, the class name will be there. Through that class, we will send the data to the report itself. We need to write a code definitely. Without writing code, we cannot. We don't have any direct operations up there. I will tell you that
And
code and all.
another one like importing data into Dynamics.
Same through Excel to Dynamics 365 to Excel, Excel to Dynamics 365. We need to write a code.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, those we have a classes in 2012. We have a class called sys Excel classes will be there actually. But here the class names are changed. Okay, the class names are. I'll let you know that definitely. It is
Okay.
possible. Definitely, it is possible.
If you find
Or
any
else,
videos, please share that.
suppose if you want to send the data to the Excel or PDF or Word document through report, it is possible. Directly from report, you can get directly Word document style and PDF style. Already we have this. Already have shown you yesterday, right? In the report itself, we have a
That I know. That I know. So it lists us the option in which format you want to export. So we select
way
and
that. Okay, fine. The next concept is working with label file and label IDs.
Uh,
Label file and label IDs in the sense. Okay,
Arjun,
after completion of the class, please ask me. Okay, let me finish the task. Once I completed this task, okay, ask me your doubts. Okay, the concept which I'm going to tell you about label file and label IDs. So till now we have created labels, help text in the table level or in the form level, anything. We just have written directly. Suppose if you go to the table any field, for example, there is a date of birth. See here, label we have written directly here. Help text also we have written directly. The text we have written here, but we should not write text directly here. We need to create a label ID. For this text, enter date of birth. I mean, for this text, we need to create one ID. For this ID also, for this text also, we need to create one ID. That ID we need to paste here. We should not write directly text here, because whenever we are exporting this project from one environment to another environment, these text related things will not be exported. Suppose you have exported this complete project from development environment to from this environment to any testing environment. Okay, after importing this environment, you cannot get these labels help text in the imported environment, because system unable to carry the text here. System unable to carry the text on your file. We should not carry the text. If it is a label ID, we can easily carry the IDs, and once it is imported, we will get the labels and help text in the imported environment. So this is the big issue here. If you are typing directly text in the labels in the help text places, after importing, there will be a lot of issues. So we need to create label IDs. So first of all, to create a label ID, we should create a label file. Okay, the label file I'm creating here in the project. Go to the new, add new item, and here there is a labels. Here I'm creating a label file. Label file in the sense I'm creating one file, something like one folder. In that folder, I will create IDs. This label file name I'm giving something like HR or something like HR label file. Okay, HR label file. Okay, let me add the okay, see here. Does it work for reconciliation? Maybe, I think. See here, the label file will not be same as the below names like a sys, syp, gls, glp. We should not give these names, because already these are all allocated for the previous existing environment. Already on these names, we have already the people of Microsoft created label files. Suppose if you are giving glp or sys, okay, it will override directly. So we should not provide the same names while you are creating a label file. Okay, that's what I'm giving. Let me provide like HR. Just a second. HR label file, something like a HRLF. Okay, clicking on next. And the language I am selecting by default, international language will be there, United States. If you want any other languages working with another people, so we need to select this one. But if you are selecting this one also, we cannot able to type the letters. So only you should select United States here. Next, finish. So in your project, you can see there is a label file created here, HRLF underscore ENUS, English US. That is the meaning of English US. Now, let me open this file. Right click on this file. Let me open this file in the develop and in the designer area. Now, I'm creating ID here. I'm creating ID. For example, I just want to create the ID for this one. Enter date of birth. Okay, I'm just giving the ID called 5 zeros 1. Okay, maybe I'm just giving like this. See, after giving the 5 zeros 1, automatically the label file name automatically attached hrlf something like hrlf 5 zeros 1. Now I'm typing the enter date of birth, and here in the description you just place any comment here. Okay, why you are creating this one, what is the description, you just give here, no problem, or else you can leave it empty. Now save the record and copy this ID, and you can go to the date of birth, remove this text and place it here, paste. That's it. So this is the way you should provide the label IDs. For example, there is a date of birth. Okay, for date of birth also I'm creating one more ID. Already you have given 50501, right? Now I'm giving 502 date of birth, save, copy this ID, and I'm pasting in the place of date of birth in label place. That's it. These are the IDs which we have created against HRLF. Okay.
So this is a better practice.
So this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Don't type the text directly on label value or help text value in the properties. And
Okay.
also we have
Nice
written several codes. We have written several codes in form level, table level, class level, right? Okay, let me open the coding environment in EMP table. Suppose, okay, see here, we have written some text here. Am I right? Age should be in between 20 and 60. Okay, just a second. For this one also, we need to create a label ID. For this one also.
This will also this will also not export while exporting the project.
No, we should follow the best practice, right? We should follow the best practice. Nowhere we should provide the direct text in our environment. So we should always create label IDs. Now I'm creating a label ID for this text also. Now I'm creating one more ID here, 503, whatever the text I want. I'm pasting here, copy this ID and paste it here in between the quotations. You just see here, once it is placed the label file ID, it is showing in a pink color, something like a different color. When you place your cursor, automatically you can see there is a text showing age should be in between 20 and 60. When you place your cursor,
I think
like
this can be better practice when you are doing localization. Like you have developed your product in English, and suppose
for
you are
example,
deploying it for a customer in
yeah, for
Spanish.
example, we have developed this project in English format. Suppose if you are deploying this project to any Chinese or Koreans, something like, if you are typing text, same text will carry, right, in the coding itself.
Arjun, when we basically are doing localization, I think there should be a way like for this particular code means HRLF 00003.
People will
This
be there.
this text is in English and this text is in Chinese. So you just change one particular code and whole product can be deployed in Chinese, in English.
That's
So
what
can we
the
do this?
way they will do that. While they are developing the project, so they will select both languages, English and Chinese language, English and Chinese both. And of course we know only English. We will develop our project in English only, but they will translate, I mean, they will change the IDs into the Chinese format. Because
So
every,
how,
I mean, whatever the forms we
how
are
can we
seeing,
do this? Because what I want, that in a single file, like hrlf en_us label txt, I want caption to store both of English and Chinese. So means for Chinese, do we need to create another file?
yes, here only we
Okay,
have selected English, right?
okay.
Only we have selected
You
English.
mean to say that for English we have taken KHRLF, and for Chinese we can take CRLF, something like this.
No. In this only, the file is same, but here ENUS label, it is the label text, right? So another will be there.
Yeah,
While
means for Chinese, for
while we
Chinese
are,
we actually need to create another file, right?
yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying here. We have selected in English format, ENUS. Suppose if you want to create, okay, just create one more label file here. One more label file in Chinese related language.
And
Okay, so
and in that case we just need to make changes in code everywhere, right?
they will do that, don't worry, because only we know English, right? So after creating everything, okay, one translator will be there. Okay, according to that we will change everything. We don't know, right, what kind of text we need to write in Chinese language. So one translator
Exactly.
will be definitely,
Actually, a
according
localization
to that we will
is
change the
very big.
values.
Arjun.
If you see the environment of Chinese or any another language, all the forms in the user interface also will show the same. It will not show in English format. Suppose we are seeing forms here, right? In this also label IDs and the text, whatever the text and edit button, new button, everything will show in the Chinese language. When they are installing the environment, they will do all the things here. Automatically it will change into their language.
Okay. Okay, Arjun. Actually, this file is also XML file or TXT file.
No, it is their own format. It is not a text format. I mean,
TXT file. Yeah, it is showing TXT file.
TXT file only, but we cannot. If you open this one, only we can open this particular window.
Okay. So I think when we deploy this project to the customer end, then this TXT file also gets deployed. So customer just need to open this TXT file and he can make the changes in
That's what we are creating,
from
especially.
English to
We
their
are
language.
allocating,
Right?
we are allocating this much of time, and we are creating labels, help text, and everything. Why
Exactly.
we are creating, in the sense, after deploying this project, we should not get errors. We should not get handicap of the labels related issues or the help text related issues. Okay,
Right, Arjun.
we again we need to type right in the testing environment or in the production environment or in the live environment. Again, we need to type. So
Exactly.
initially, if you create everything, and if you make it in a file, so simply we can forward this file. So that is
Exactly.
the
I
reason
got it.
this much work we are doing initially. Suppose in a table, if we have 100 fields, for 100 fields we should write label, we should write help text. So we should write 100 fields, 200 records. We should create 200 records for 100 fields. Label and help text will be there.
Yeah, Arjun. Right. Got it.
So so in real life, one label file will be already created, and we should just add it to the project every time, right? And add the
Yes,
name.
example, already for okay, let me show you something. For data or for employee ID, I'm creating a ID. Okay, for employee ID. Simply, you just 44504 employee ID. Save it. Okay. I will copy this ID wherever I want directly. Okay, here. Label. Okay. In next time also, I mean, in another table also, I will use the same ID.
Yeah.
For example, a copy table. In copy table, there is a field employee ID. Here also, I will use the same ID, same this one. See, for example, I don't know what is the number I have allocated for employee ID. I can search here. I can search here.
Yeah.
I can search by text, match word, match exactly, find options. There is a find options. For example, there are thousands of records are there. Let us assume that here. Okay, thousands of records. Then you can search here on see, when I am typing, see, automatically data is filtering. So you can copy the ID and you can directly paste it wherever you want. No need to remember the ID.
No, this is not my question is like in real time, only we label files are only created once, right? We just add to the project every time we are doing some
Of
development
course,
and we add the
only
label,
one
right?
time we will create. Only one time we will create.
Yeah. So we
For
just
employee, already I have created one
hmm.
ID. That ID I will use it many times.
No, no,
Reusability concept.
I'm not asking about ID, I'm asking about the text label text file which we created. No, we don't have to create it every time, right? It is already it
Oh,
will just
okay. So label file you are asking.
yeah.
Label file only one time.
Yeah, we just add it to our project and write the labels which we want. That's it,
Yeah,
right?
start creating records. This ID
Hmm.
you need to create only one time. If you open this one, you can see this environment. You start creating records.
Yeah. So we don't have to
This
create a new label file every time, right? We just
no, not required. Not required.
yeah.
This is file.
Hmm.
HRLF underscore EN US is a label file.
Yeah.
Okay. If you open this label file, this environment will appear. In this environment, you start create records. IDs. These are all IDs. See here,
Yeah.
label ID. So this is your label file name, HRLF ENUS label. It is a file name. These are the label IDs. So label file contains label IDs. Only once we need to create a label file. Label IDs depends upon your requirement. You keep on create the label IDs. Only one time enough.
Arjun, I had a question here last that suppose there are multiple files like HRKLF US, HRKLF Chinese. So how to make a particular file as a default file in a project?
No, we cannot set like that. Okay, in your project, you will create multiple label files. Okay, whatever the label ID, after creating, you are copying the label ID and you are pasting it, right? That is the scenario we are doing. So here making default, what is the scenario? Why we need to make a default label file? Suppose if I created one more thing, whatever I have opened, it will open in the designer area, right? Suppose I have two files here. Okay, whatever the file I have right clicked and if I open, that will open in the designer area. In that file, I will create record and I will copy the ID and I will paste it. Here making default, nothing like that. You can create a number of things and you can use it where whatever you want. Okay, so this is the concept of label file and the label IDs. So always we should create label IDs for every requirement. Okay, we have given so many places labels, help text, and in our X++ code also we have written a lot of codes. I mean several times. So all the places we should not write direct alphabets. I mean text. We should place ID, label file ID, and then okay. What is the time right now?
So yeah, it's 10:40.
Okay, now the next concept is working with the window control. Okay, actually it is an image control, not window control. Working with the image control. Okay, let me tell you one example here. I just want to show a photo for a particular employee. For example, there is a form called EMP table simplest details list grid. Let me open this list grid template. Sometimes client may ask this kind of requirement. We just want to show photo of a every employee, passport size photo or anything, or any item image. For example, in items list, we should show the item image of every item. Okay, here I have selected 101 record. I just want to show a 101 passport size photo or whatever it is photo. I just want to show against this record. If I select 102 photo picture, I just want to show here. For this one, I'm going to creating one more tab page, like a contact details or age details. I'll create one more tab page. In that tab page, I'll show the image directly. Okay. Okay. Let me go to the list grid. Let me open this list grid, and first let me create a one more tab page here. The tab page name I'm giving image. Don't give image. Okay, image is a class name actually. Don't use image. Image is a class name. Just I'm giving something like image details. Okay, image details, and the label also, the caption I'm giving image. For caption, no issues, we can type anything, but name of the control, we should not provide image. And here the pattern which I'm selecting, there is an image preview. Okay, I'm selecting image preview. Now here we have missed a group control, or select one, anything like you can select a group or you can select the image. I'm selecting image control. Right click new. I'm going to selecting image control here. Okay, image control. The image control name I'm giving form image control, form image control, and I am making this auto declaration yes property because I will use this name in X++ code. That is the reason I'm making auto declaration yes. Okay, please remember this one. The control name is form image control, the image control name, or EMP. Okay, we'll write like this: EMP image control, EMP image control. Okay, so here embedded style. Okay, nothing remaining properties are not required. Okay, now here I need to browse the image, right? To browse the image in the action pane itself, in the action pane we don't have any controls. We'll make it here. We'll make an action pane here. I'm creating an action pane here itself. Keep it up, this one, and here action pane tab. Okay, and action pane button group. In the button group itself, I'm creating one command button. I'm creating a command button to browse the image. Okay, here browse image. Okay, here there is a, oh sorry, actually not command button. I'm deleting this one. I'm taking menu item button. I'm taking menu item button. The name I'm giving browse image. Through this button control, I will browse the image from our local machine. Here there is a property called menu item name. The menu item name, we have a menu item called company image. It is a default menu item, company image, and the label I'm providing here, the text. Here also we should provide a label ID in text property also. But meanwhile, I'm directly writing the name browse image or load image or whatever it is you should write here. Okay. Because of this menu item, it is a default menu item actually. It is a existing menu item. Through this menu item, we can browse the image. Now, button control is ready, and that area, I mean, the image related environment is also ready. Now we need to write a code to render the image into this particular image control. Okay, let me let me open and show you the form first. First, let me show you the form, and then I'll tell you where we need to write the code. Now again, I will open this form, simplest details form. See here, there is a browse image button is there. When I click on the browse image button, see, it will open one default form. Here I will click on the change button. Okay, here I will browse the image from the local machine. Okay, when you select the image, automatically this will appear here in the square box. Okay, once you close the form, automatically it will show in the square box itself here. In the square box. For this one, we need to write a code. Okay. Now
We can save the image from our local machine to the database.
Yes. Once you delete the original file on your local machine, also it will save it in our Dynamics 365. Once you loaded the file, once you loaded the image, you can delete the original image even if you want. Okay. Now I'm going to writing a piece of code to browse the image. I'm creating a new method. Okay. I'm creating a new method here public void, the method name I'm writing like a load image. Okay, here we have a class called image. See, it is a predefined class, framework class, img equal to new image. I have created a constructor for the image class, and we have a table called company image table. It is a table, CILOC. So normally we will give LOC, right, for a table objects, company image. It is a table. So why we are taking this table in the sense, whatever the image we are browsing, first we will save into this table. Whatever the image we are browsing from local machine, local drives, first that image will automatically save into this table. From this table, we will render that image into the window control. Whatever the image control we have created, we will push that image into that particular image control in the UA, in the user interface. So that is the reason we are sending first image. We are collecting the image from the local machine and we are sending into the company image table. From that company image table, we are selecting that particular image and we will push to the image control. So that is the reason we are taking this company image table. This is a predefined table. Okay, we need to create a record here. Once you browse the image, system automatically creates a record in this table against your employee ID, record ID. Now CILOC equal to company image. There is a find method. If the record find, what exactly the record? Emp table dot, here first argument is data area ID. Okay, data area ID. Next record table ID. Emp table dot table ID. Emp table dot record ID. So this is the correct address of exact address of a record. For example, if I asked a record address, how you will say in X company, in X table, X record, right? That is the correct address of a record. Because there are so many companies will be there, so many tables will be there, so many records will be there. Suppose if I ask a record address, how you will say in some X company, in that X company, we have a Y table. In that Y table, we have a Z record. Okay, so that is the correct address of a record. Suppose here I'm trying to find the record. Here, if I'm trying to find the record, and that record will store in the CILOC buffer. Here, in this particular situation, suppose in company image table, suppose if we have 10 records, in CILOC also we have 10 records. But whatever the ID, data area ID, table ID, record ID, these are all our records, our data area ID, our table ID, our record ID. If the record find in this company image table, that record especially stores in CILOC buffer. So remaining 9 records will not be there. Only one record will be there in the CILOC. Now, if CILOC dot image, in that company image table, we have a field called image. It is a container field. If the image is existed in that particular record, okay, image. Okay, here if the record existed, what we need to do, img dot, there is a set data. Already we have a img class object is there. In that class, we have a set data method is there. Here it is asking container data. Container means CILOC dot image is the container field. Okay. Now already we have taken image control name. So this is your image control name, EMP image control. That name I'm selecting here, dot image img value. So I'm setting the image into the window control. If the image not found in that record, so what we need to throw? What we need to throw? Image null value I'm throwing. Empty. It will show empty. If the record in that record, if there is an image, so that image I'm going to setting up into the image control. If the record in that record we don't have an image, so we should throw null value. So empty box will show in the user interface, right, in the image control. So that is the reason I'm throwing null value here. If you see this table, company image table, suppose once you select a record, once you select an image, okay, going back to the image table, company image table. Let me open this table in browser. See here, in this table we have almost 6 columns, remaining 5 columns. Okay, remaining these 4 columns are predefined columns, right? Has image. If the image is there, so automatically system will tick the mark. Here exact image will store in the binary format. It will not show here, but it will store here in the image type. Okay, and reference company ID, reference record ID, reference table ID. Okay, for example, if I have selected image for 103, let us assume that. What is the 103 data area ID? What is the 103 table ID? What is the 103 record ID? These 3 information will store here. Here, the 103 company ID is dat. 103 table ID is something like table ID, right? Table ID. So EMP table ID, we need to find the table ID. EMP table. So table ID we cannot see here. Through code only we can see that table ID. Through code only we can see the table ID. In this table, I mean, you are selecting an image for 103. So system automatically stores 103 data area ID, 103 table ID, 103 record ID. That will store here. So system will create a record here. Okay, system will create a record and the image will store here. And if the image is existed, automatically a tick mark will come here. This record I will capture when I'm selecting 103 record. When I select 103, automatically I will point out that particular image here in the box itself. How? Now I will call that method in active method itself. In the active method of in the active method of this form, go to the data source, methods, override method. There is a active method. In active method, I will call this load image method. Active method. Element dot load image method. Okay. And instantly, yes, this is enough really. Now let me execute the project. Okay, before that, first of all, we'll select one record manually. So go to the EMP table. We will select for 104 or 105 record. Okay. Now I'm going to selecting for 107 record. Okay. 107 record record ID is 9826. Okay. Let us assume that 10 or else we'll go for 106 record. Okay. 106 record data area ID is DAT. Okay. Record ID is 9077. 9077. Okay. Now let me open this form. Let me open this form and I will select a record. I will select an image for the 106. System automatically creates a record in company image table. 106 record. I'm browsing an image. Okay. No need to save the no need to save this particular record. We don't have a save option even here. Okay. Close it. And when you come down, see here. Image already attached to the 106 record. Now, if you go to the company image table, let me show you the company image table. Let me refresh this table again. Company image table. Now you can see 9077 record ID. That particular table ID is 21347. I mean, our employee table ID is 21347. And it is created for a DAT company. I mean, in DAT company, for this table, for this record, one image already is there. That image is here. This image I'm rendering against 106 when I have selected 106 record. When I have selected 106 record, system automatically executing the find method. System automatically executing the find method. Here, if you see, whatever the record I'm selecting, whatever the record I have selected in the grid control here, whatever the record I have selected here, so system automatically passes the data area ID of that record, table ID of that record ID of that record, and if the record find in the company image table, that record will store in the CILOC buffer. If the record is existed, okay, record already existed. Let us assume that in that record, image is existed. If the tick mark is there, that image value we are setting into the image control. Suppose if I'm selecting 105 record, 105 record, we don't have any image, so that is the reason else case is executing. All these things are happening while we are selecting a record. That's what we have written in active method. Browse
Arjun,
one
can
more.
yeah, once more please.
Okay, I'm selecting for 10 something
Where is
like
this
one.
form? Sorry, go to the previous form, please.
Okay, for 104 I'm selecting. Okay, for 104 I have selected 104 and I'm browsing an image.
Browsing it.
Change,
Okay.
change button is there here. Change button. Now clicking on the browse. Okay, let me close the window, because once you close the window, but the image immediately it is not reflecting. When you go back to any record, when you come back here, image is showing, right? So for that we have to call this method. Here there is a activate method is there. Activate method. Let me call this method in activate method also. This dot load image. We'll see. Once you close the form, automatically the image has to reflect against the particular record, but it is not reflecting because we have written in active method itself. Active method means once you reselect the record, then it will reflect. Let
And
me
it will
execute
only
again.
show on tab page or any other place.
Sorry.
Image can only be shown in tab page or either any other place.
Other place in the sense.
Means other than tab page, let's say if we have to show on the form itself.
We can show like this. Like if you click on the button control, it will open a window and it will show there. But this is the better process. Every time we can see directly image value, right? When you select the record, automatically we can show the image value. Mostly 99% we will show in the tab pages itself.
Like for product, we have a different product, and for that particular product, if you want to show the image.
For example, it is an image. It is a item like
Right.
TV, monitor, like mouse, keyboard. Okay, I can show the image directly here, like this. The monitor size, monitor length, monitor company name, monitor image, everything I can see here directly. Okay, for 102 record I'm selecting 102 record. So almost we have selected 5 records, right? 5 images. So 5 images. For 5 images, 5 records will create in the company image table. See, for every requirement you can use company image table directly. No need to create a separate table and to store the image records. Okay, so this is the way you need to select the image value, image files, images for the particular item or particular employee. So this is the simple code. Okay, guys.